TYFU.
Roll 'em.
Hey, Marilla.
Hey, Beth.
How are you?
Good. Full of popcorn because you're such a good host.
Yeah.
You're such a good podcast host.
Well, I try to make you feel welcome in my home.
Thank you.
And then if you feel welcome, it helps like ooze welcomeness to the listeners.
To the listeners.
I wish we could give them popcorn. If we could sell popcorn on the website, I would.
I wish we could embrace them, but popcorn is way more appropriate.
We'll try to work that out. Maybe for season 3, we'll add popcorn to the website. But
Ooh.
I'm talking about season 3 because we're very soon going to wrap up season 2.
Yes.
So we've got this episode that drops today. If you're
Right now. It's happening, everybody.
Today. Yeah. This episode that drops
right now.
And then we have one more, which I'm so excited about. I'm excited about this one, but I'm also excited
but this one doesn't matter.
No. We're 2.5 minutes in and we're like, but next episode.
Just you wait.
Next episode is very exciting because our listeners have very kindly submitted so many questions for Ask Us Anything.
So many.
Fascinating questions.
Yes. And
many about Kelly Walker's private life.
Oh, most of them really about Kelly Walker's private life. Yeah. And I think it's kind of fun that we're ending with that episode because it's one of the few, maybe the only episode that we told our listeners what the topic is ahead of time, right?
That's true. Yeah.
You guys were in on this one. So, yeah, we all ripped the envelope together.
Yeah, when I was reading through the questions with you, I was impressed by how careful people listen to the episodes. And again, want to thank everybody for their loyal and careful and dedicated listenership.
Right. And in the days leading up to this infamous Ask Me Anything episode, if you have any questions that come to mind, we are on social media. We are on the website. Send them in. If we can't get them in the episode, then we can get them on a story on social media. Like, come on. We'll just answer it.
We can go into real mode.
Yeah, we'll go into real mode. And get real on a reel. So yeah, send your questions in.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Some of the best feedback we receive at TYFU is from small business owners who say, I'm glad to hear that I'm not alone.
In Geneva, small business owners are never alone.
The Geneva Business Improvement District is your partner.
BID works to increase foot traffic for downtown businesses with marketing and promotion.
BID also hosts events to draw customers and keeps downtown beautiful so they'll stay.
Want to learn more? Visit BID today at genevadowntown.com.
Anyway, what's this episode about?
This episode. Okay. Well, last episode, we're all over the board, all over the map. Last episode, we had Sean in from Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes.
To talk about tourism.
We know him. We love him.
Yeah, he was a great guest, honestly.
Lovely.
And thank you so much, Sean, for taking the time. But one thing that was lacking...
Are you about to shit talk our guest?
No, Sean, you did a great job. You did a great job.
Sure, he's listening.
He didn't scare us.
Yeah, Sean.
But we didn't ask him any questions about scary things.
I don't know.
We didn't ask him for any ghost stories.
I specifically said, Sean, please scare my pants off right now. And
we
he
didn't
did
ask
not
him
do
about
that.
the last time he used a Ouija board.
No.
We didn't. It was our fault. We can't blame the guest.
We failed as hosts. And for that, we apologize to Sean and every other listener.
So we're like, let's get a scary thing in. What can we do that's going to be scary? And let's make Halloween into a 2-part thing.
Well, right. Because last year, if you remember, we did our Halloween episode and we had a blast with it. We talked about our own scary stories.
The stuff of nightmares that have happened in our small businesses.
Nightmares. And then we decided it wasn't scary enough.
Yes.
Once again.
So we invited our friend
in to tell McCoy small business ghost stories.
let's thank Kevin Dunn. He's a friend of the podcast.
That's true.
He was our guest for the last Halloween episode, and I don't want him to not be named.
We can't snub him like that.
No. Thank you, Kevin. You're a hero.
In our hearts forever. So basically, we amped it up last year for our Halloween episode, and this year we are amping it up in almost a part 2 kind of way, because
an actual part 2 kind of way.
It's literally, yeah. Is this a part 2?
I think so.
Formally?
I mean, I don't know. Casually. It's a 1.75.
All right. So hopefully you guys are getting the gist. We are going to continue this idea of exploring tourism in our area, but we're turning it spooky because we had a guest in. Should we go ahead and tell them about this guest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, eventually we're going to have to let them know.
I guess that's what we're here for, right? I suppose we'll tell you guys.
So after we interviewed Sean, we decided to interview a friend of Marilla's who runs like scary shit.
Scary shit. He's in charge of all the stuff that makes you pee your pants at the haunted houses and the haunted hay rides, the actors, the special effects, the noises, the lights that go flashy, and the fog that makes you very scared and frightened. He does all that, and he's been doing it for years, and people travel far and wide to come to these attractions. So that's why we decided to have him on.
So Spooky Tourism Part 2.
We have Garrett Coons here today. And Garrett, why don't you introduce yourself and what you do?
I work in the haunted attraction industry. I do consulting and design work, specifically lights and sound and animations for haunted attractions, hay rides, houses, haunted trails, all that fun stuff.
That's a job?
That's a job. We hit it. Well, I'm telling you, last year we had a ghost story. This year we have the man making the ghosts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
How long have you been doing this so-called job?
Oh, gosh. So I started working in haunted attractions when I was 16, volunteering at an actual haunted jail.
Oh, wow.
Located in Wayne County.
I'm out.
Oh, wait. I grew up in Wayne County. I know. What? It's the Lion's Jail.
It is the Lion's Jail, yes. Yep.
Is a haunted house?
It's a haunted jail.
Sorry.
It's a haunted jail, and it used to do an annual haunted house fundraiser every year in October, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So that was, 2010 I started, so roughly 14 years I've been doing this.
Yeah.
So you developed a passion for working the haunts.
I did,
in Wayne County. And what happened from there?
So from there, I grew as an actor, and I started acting at a professional haunted attraction in Williamson that's no longer here. They closed, unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic. And I moved to a place in Syracuse called Frightmare Farms. Ugh. And I've been managing their hayride. This is my 5th season with them. And with that, they're lucky enough, and I'm lucky enough to work with them, that we work with attractions all across the country, installing and building scares for them as well throughout the year.
This is literally a nightmare for me, but it's so cool for you. Like, I will never go and support that.
Whatever you're into, Garrett.
Yeah.
It's Marilla.
I'm such a weenie about this stuff. It's scaring me just thinking about a haunted jail. Okay. That's a long time scaring people. Do you have, I imagine you deal with a lot of tourists that come for these.
We have
or is it mostly
a ton of tourists.
Okay.
So actually nationally in the United States, last year there was a kind of a decline in the amount of money spent on Halloween itself. To about 11.2 billion.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah. The previous year, 2022, it had its record-breaking year of $12-point-something billion spent specifically on Halloween.
Oh, my God.
It is the second most profitable holiday, second only to December 25th, Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Oh, my God. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of That's a lot of tourist dollars.
So let me understand that, though. You work primarily at the Syracuse location now, and
I work primarily in Syracuse right now. Yep.
And you have people coming from all over to visit your.
Yeah, we market within about a 3 to 5 hour radius right now.
Okay.
We're actually rated, depending on who you look at, we're rated number 9th in the country right now.
What?
But we are also on the Haunted Attraction Association's list of top haunts.
Oh, awesome.
And the top haunts is a category that you have to apply to be in. And it basically says that you've been doing this for more than 10 years. You follow all the safety standards. The Haunted Attraction Association has their own safety course. It's called Chaos, funny enough, right? Certified Haunted Attraction Operator Safety Course.
Oh, my God. You guys have too much fun.
And so we have all these standards that we have to meet to be considered a top haunt in America, and we've been one for the past 3 years.
Do they send like a critic? Like there's theater critics? Are there like haunt critics?
There absolutely are.
Oh my
There's haunt
God.
review teams that all they do is travel the country in the fall.
That's
and
a job. That's amazing. That
I just imagine peed my pants. A++.
I actually vomited.
So frightened I'll never sleep again. You guys are in.
Heart attack in the hospital.
Wow. So this is big. Yeah, that's a big deal. So you've got a hayride going.
Yes.
You're in the middle of it right now.
Yep.
Oh my God.
We just finished up our second weekend here. We've got a couple more dates open. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
So you started out as an actor.
Yes. Yep.
Have you ever made someone pee their pants?
Oh yeah. I've earned my yellow badge many times.
The yellow badge?
The yellow badge. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. There's a yellow badge.
Oh yeah, we
Is
in the
there a-
industry we have
What other
tons of
badges
like
are
little
there?
badges.
Is
to
there a brown
incentivize.
badge?
There is a brown badge.
Oh, whoa.
Do you have it?
I don't have the brown badge.
Thank God.
Aspirations.
What? Okay, yellow badge, brown badge. What else happens in a haunted house? Oh, crying.
Crying, yeah.
You've made somebody cry?
I'm sure I have.
Oh, great.
It's a little harder to know those ones because you can't see the tears in the dark, right?
Oh my God.
Okay, well, you can't see the pee in the dark either. So how?
Oh, but you
can
hear
feel
them.
it.
You hear them.
Oh.
You'll hear them say, "I just peed myself,"
Oh, yeah. That is one of those things you just
or when they're
announce.
walking out of the house, they
Yeah.
might say to security that
Oh,
they
yeah,
peed
they
themselves
need
or
to-
something like that. So.
Oh my God. Okay, so have you ever lost a tourist? Or just a person in general in a
No,
haunted
but
house?
I do have some fun stories about some of our actors who think that they might not be alone while they're working.
You mean like how?
I mean,
Are we
like
talking
some paranormal.
supernatural?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What do you
Hell
got?
yeah.
Tell.
I'm going to leave, but you guys have fun.
Yeah, actually working with, haunted entertainment, we're always collecting random things, right? So a lot of estate sales. We buy out a lot of estate sales. So we might have some items that themselves are considered haunted.
Cursed.
Cursed, exactly. So we've had a couple different actors that report some weird ongoings. And we've actually, at the place in Syracuse where I work, we've had some paranormal investigators come out and tour our facility and do some investigations.
Ooh. Like what? What? Give me one. Hit me with one.
So one time we had an actor working in a scene. They were by themselves. There's nobody within 40 or 50 feet from them. And they had a light bulb that was on the ground pick up and smash over a 55-gallon drum that was sitting next to them.
Just pick right up off the ground?
Pick right up, yeah. Yeah. They refused to work in that scene for the rest of the time they worked there.
It was an empty one. It was a little break.
Yep.
You just got a little moment, a little breather. Ooh.
It's called the toxic waste scene, and it was just a scene full of garbage.
Okay, because I was like, what is the light
And-
bulb doing on the ground? That's just not safe.
It was a scene full of garbage, and we could not staff it the remainder of the year.
Wow.
People refused to work in that
Strange.
scene until we got rid of that scene and revamped it.
So do you think it was the light bulb?
I don't know.
What do you think was the cursed item there in the garbage heap? I was thinking when you said cursed item, I was thinking like a child's bed or like, I don't know, a straitjacket or something. Just a light bulb.
Yeah, a light bulb. That's what smashed. I don't know what caused it.
Right.
You know? It could have been the old rusty elliptical that was sitting next to it. You don't know.
A lot of energy imbued in that thing.
Yeah, right. A lot of angst trapped in that. Oh my God. All right. So we have the smashed, cursed light bulb trash room. Mm-hmm. A great
in the
movie.
old jail in Wayne County that we referenced earlier. That's actually the only place to ever have an execution in Wayne County.
Mm-hmm. What?
So it's believed to be haunted by the spirit of, his name was William Fee.
Ooh.
And there were a couple of other people that died on site there too, but he was the only execution. And we've had people get stuck in the jail cell in that building before.
Ooh.
I was actually lucky enough a couple years ago to go on a ghost hunt in that space with Orange County Paranormal investigators. And they came up and gave us all the equipment, and we went through, and me and my buddy Dylan were in a cell together, and on this spirit box tool that we had, we heard a voice just say cellmates.
Oh.
Ooh. And so it was pretty creepy.
Well, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, like a sleepover.
Yeah, you know, Sally's for life.
Bosom buddies.
BFFs. Feels like a podcast.
Oh my God. Did you pee?
No.
He's a braver
No,
man.
the spirit box, that happens live. Like you're listening to it, right?
Yeah.
The words are coming. It's not like an EMF where you listen back later and you hear it.
EVP is when you listen back later.
EMF is different.
Get it right.
EMF is an electromagnetic field.
Right, but then you also have EMF detectors.
Yes. So that's scanning for abnormalities within the field that you're currently in.
Oh my God. Seems like
Any
a lot of
others,
work.
Garrett? Any other memorable
cellmate.
experiences?
Ooh.
Oh, there's so many. I remember seeing when I was really young, before I even got into this, my best friend's mother worked at that same jail. Mm-hmm. And there was a day where he and I were in there just playing around because, you know.
As one does.
What else are 12-year-olds going to do when you're in a jail from the 1800s?
Right.
And we got stuck in a cell, and there was writing on one of the walls that, like, we looked at it, and we were like, that looks really fresh.
Ooh.
And we aren't sure what it said. I don't even remember way back. I think I blocked it out because I was so young. But
right. Oh, gross. Your whole life is riddled with creepy stories. Okay. When I have gone through 3 haunted houses in my whole life. Mm-hmm. One with my grandfather, and we had such a bad time that he literally grabbed one of the workers and was like, let us out now. I think he was scared too, by the way.
You know that people go there intentionally to be scared.
Yeah. I didn't. I was very young. I don't know. But anyway, we were not having a good time. And we were those people who were like, we need the side door. Like, we need the exit. Does that happen often?
Oh, that happens, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
He didn't say often, but.
For sure. So the place I work at now, we're actually the first ever haunted attraction that's certified as inclusive by Culture City.
What does this mean?
So Culture City is a program that's known with a lot of parents and organizations that specifically deal with people who can be overstimulated,
right,
or are on the autism spectrum, anything like that. So a majority of our staff is all trained. We go through an annual training on recognizing when somebody might be overstimulated and need those quick outs, or maybe it's not even an out, but they need some sort of assistance to make it through the rest of the way.
Oh my God, that's wholesome.
So we have these little bags, and they have anti-strobe light sunglasses, headphones, little flashlights so they can see better.
Oh my God.
And stuff like that. So if we find somebody that needs a little extra assistance, we can get them a kit that they need, or we have a quiet room they can go to as well, just to kind of decompress and get back into their, homeostasis.
all right, maybe I'll come someday, but only if I get the goodie bag.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. Because I just remember them being annoyed and like kicking us out a side door that was like, there was a tarp and they were like, okay, leave.
Do you ever feel annoyed, Garrett? Like, you came here to be scared. So stop complaining about being scared. Does that happen?
Never really with the ones who are actually scared. It's usually the jerks.
We all
know the jerk who's the
what's
guy
the
on a
worst
first
guy?
date with the girl, and he's just trying to, act tough in front of her and intimidate the actors, and they don't realize that it might be an 18-year-old girl in the monster costume that he's throwing a swing at, So
Ew!
that's when I become annoyed is the big burly guys that are just trying to get.
Posture, let's say.
Yeah, that are posturing, that are just going in there to like show how tough they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Gross.
What a cheap, pathetic, disgusting way to be a man.
That just unlocked a new ick for me. I never even thought about that guy and being like, the first date is a haunted house and he's that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would lose him. I would lose him in that house.
Because you'd be too scared to go on by yourself, Marilla.
I'd find my courage. With that guy?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, he's the scariest part of all.
Literally,
yes,
he's
true.
the scariest. Yeah. So is that the worst customer that you deal with?
I would say so. Yeah. It's either going to be that or it's, someone who's obviously been tailgating in the parking lot.
Oh,
and they somehow slip
my
past security.
God.
Those are a little fun to deal with,
So wait, you said slip past security. Mm-hmm. You guys like screen people?
Absolutely, yeah.
I love this.
We have security guards. A lot of our security guards are actually off-duty, like sheriff's deputies or troopers, or local PD even, that they kind of, scan the crowds as they're entering the box office line to kind of catch those issues before they become an issue.
Yeah, make sure they're in their right mind to go in and get scared out of your mind.
Absolutely. Because the other thing people don't realize is, we're a business, but also for all intensive purposes, we're an event just like a concert. Yeah. So we have to have emergency plans, emergency action plans for fires, weather events. We've been having tornadoes in New York lately.
Right.
What's that?
Right. How does that? That really is a huge thing. That includes
those like security measures, like God forbid anything ever with a weapon happens.
Right.
We have to have plans for that. So we have security to do all that as well.
Oh my God. I'm exhausted.
So do you enjoy it always, or sometimes is it just like a job and it gets tiring for you? I mean, I'm sure it must here and there.
It gets tiring. But at the end of the day, we're all there for the same purpose. Right. We all love it. So even when you have those little, everybody fights with their coworkers once in a while, right? But I'm sure Marilla fights with hers more often than most, but
since they're related
to her. You guys know how I am. I'm a fighter, not a lover. Yeah.
Luckily enough for me, it's more of a part-time job for me. I work full-time in technical stuff, computer IT stuff like that. So it's kind of an escape, even though it is a part-time job.
Yeah.
It's more of an escape for me to get out and do it. So
do you have ambitions of doing it full-time? Can it be a full-time gig?
It can absolutely be a full-time gig.
Wow.
And I would love to one day. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Full-time, like run all the time, or full-time, like you prep for it through the year and then it's like a season, just like Christmas tree farms?
There's both. Oh. A lot of people I know that do, we call it interactive entertainment, right? They do not necessarily haunts throughout the year, but they'll do escape rooms. They'll have a side business doing escape rooms, and that will help fund their building of the haunted house for the fall.
I love that. I've got one more question.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the scariest situation you've ever been in?
Ooh.
With your job in the haunted house? Like, what was the scariest thing? Because like for me, it could be like somebody's returning $500 worth of stuff, or I don't know, I locked my keys inside the store at my grand opening. Like that's horrifying. What was the most horrifying thing? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. So probably We had a tractor break down one day, and it was on a hill.
Oh, gosh.
And the wagon had about 45 people on it. So circumventing that situation is probably the most nerve-wracking. I don't know that it's terrifying, but it's like, okay, it's go time. We got to do this.
Pressure.
Yeah, because it's like out in the middle of the nowhere.
Exactly. We had to get another tractor out there, and we had to, make sure everybody was safe as they were getting off on an uneven surface.
And everybody was accounted for.
Everybody was accounted for, exactly.
I wanted to know that because I've worked with Garrett for many years in theater, and nothing rattles this man. So I needed to have a recording of what really rattled you one day. Wow.
I'll give you a little tidbit. When I was a kid, it was spiders. Spiders terrified me.
Did I ever tell you about the tarantula?
No.
Okay. We'll talk.
Tell it, Marilla. We're recording. Tell it.
Okay, fine. One January day, it was a Saturday in upstate New York, in Geneva, New York. Joe and I were getting our coats on to go get coffee before I opened the store. And he goes out into the coat room. I'm in the other end of the house, and he screams like bloody murder. And Joe, he's a quiet man.
Yes. Yeah.
I've never heard Joe say anything, for God's sake.
He screams bloody murder. I thought he was getting electrocuted, or the steam heat pipes had burst and he was being scalded alive. So I run. I'm like, oh my God, what is it? And he goes, I just stepped on a spider. And so me, the country bumpkin, immediately am condescending, thinking that he stepped on
like a daddy long leg or something.
And I'm like,
get it together, hon.
Okay, snowflake. And the light was still off. I take my phone out, I shine the light on it, and I'm processing what's in front of me is a tarantula.
You're making a pancake size circle with your hands.
Hands.
Right?
Yeah. That's the size of the tarantula. It was a pancake sized tarantula in front of me. And my brain is like not processing what I'm seeing, because I was about to roast this guy for being a mamby-pamby scaredy cat. And now there's a tarantula on our floor. Ooh. So Joe has just stepped on this thing in his stocking foot.
God, how gross.
How gross. And if anybody's wondering, think like a travel-sized tube of toothpaste.
Oh, my good God. I'm going to quit listening to our podcast. This is awful.
So anyway, as I'm looking at this tarantula in horror, a new horror sets in, and it is that when I remembered our upstairs neighbor is an entomologist, and he has a pet tarantula.
And Fido.
He had a pet tarantula.
Goodbye, Fido. What was the tarantula's name?
I called her Tallulah.
Okay.
So anyway, I realized
terrible.
that was our upstairs neighbor's pet, and our upstairs neighbor was out of the country visiting his mother, and we had just murdered his pet.
Did you text him? How did you? How did this go down?
I basically immediately I'm Elaine from Seinfeld, and I'm like, we can go to the pet store and we can get a tarantula and we can put it upstairs.
He'll never know the difference.
But then, Joe was not on board. It was probably some rare tarantula. There was only one in the world. So we texted him, no response. And then we have to dispose of the bodies. So, Joe, bless him, I was going to call him a coward in the start, and he was the hero. He went and got a Tupperware. I still hadn't heard from this guy, so I went to Stomping Grounds, and I got a sympathy card. Because
do they make those? Sorry, I killed your spider.
I got a sympathy card. I didn't know how else to do it. So anyway, when he came back and I knew he was home, I put the dead spider Tupperware out in our laundry room with the card. And oh my God, I felt so bad. So anyway, you're never safe from tarantulas.
I guess not.
Garrett. Yeah. Awful, 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 awful.
Well, I do have another question for Garrett.
Okay.
If you're done.
You asked.
I know I did. I encouraged you to tell it, and now I have every regret in the world. But Garrett, do you ever get burnt out on Halloween?
I do occasionally. I never thought that I would, but we do this year round.
Right. Yes.
I'm traveling from February through late June to conventions, giving talks or going to lectures, buying props, setting up stuff. And then from really March, once the weather breaks, all the way through now, I'm at the haunted house probably 2-3 days a week building.
Yeah.
So, by mid-October, it's kind of like, okay, just let me coast until November 1st, and then I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
We had a guest on who is in Salem, Massachusetts, and that was one of the things we talked to him about is, do you get burnt out on Halloween? And I understand that you've been to Salem as a tourist. So to bring this back to being a tourist, what was your experience like? Did you feel like you had some kind of like simpatico with the folks in Salem because you are also in the Halloween industry?
Yeah. So luckily enough, I went to Salem last year for the first time, and it was second weekend of November.
Oh my God.
Still quite busy at that time from what I hear.
It was a little busy, but it was nowhere near their peak of season. So it was kind of nice. We spent about 6 hours there. It was really nice, but I definitely feel that sympathy for them. You could tell like they were coming out of their peak season.
Exhausted by that time.
A lot of the businesses didn't open until 10. Right. So you're thinking, we got there at 8-9 o'clock in the morning, and just finding coffee was a struggle because there were only like 3 coffee shops open that early, and there was 4,000 of us there. Right. So yeah, but it was a cool place. If anybody gets a chance to go to Salem, highly suggest it. It was so much fun. We did the tour. They've got a bus tour throughout the whole village area there, and it gives you the historical, and then it also shows you like some spots you might want to go to and check out for yourself. So like we did the tour early in the morning, and it was great because then it added like 4 things to our list of things to go see.
I love that. It sounds like a very, very cool spot. Everybody's going to Salem. Haley from my store just went to Salem.
Dimples.
Dimples. Yes, I'm sorry. You all know her as Dimples. She was just there, and I'm starting to get a little FOMO here.
You and I, and maybe Kelly.
Need to hop in the car.
Yes, he's shaking his head. So it's
he's
just you and me.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
We got to close up shop and get to Salem.
And if you're in that area anyways, I highly suggest a place called Haunted Overload.
Okay. Too much,
It's
Marilla?
Not scary, Marilla, I promise.
All right,
maybe it's a little scary.
I'm in.
But it is a giant, the best way to describe it is an art exhibit.
Ooh.
It's a trail through the woods. It takes you about 45 minutes to walk. And they hand carve every single pumpkin that's out there every week.
Ooh, I would like that.
And they have giant sculptures. They've got like a 45-foot tall pumpkin sculpture that's all made out of wood.
Ooh,
And
haunted.
It's very cool. Haunted Overload. Yeah, if you look up pictures, it's a great place to visit if you're ever in that area.
I love that. What a good spooky.
I know, Halloween episode number 2.
Number 2.
Thank you for being here, Garrett. Is there anything we failed to ask you that you want to talk about? Any other plugs
I could
you want
talk about this for days.
Anything on your heart specifically for us right now?
No, just if you have local listeners, I mean, definitely go out and support. Even if you're not local, go out and support whatever Halloween attractions are near you.
Yes.
These people spend countless hours and investment of their own personal time, but also money as well.
Yeah.
On these huge installations and they just want you people to show up.
Yeah.
We talk about theater, Marilla. It's how you and I know each other.
Right.
This is one of the most interactive pieces of theater you will ever experience, is getting up close and personal with actors and walking through, because really it is a theatrical performance. Most haunted attractions are. So just get out and enjoy the season. Even if you don't like being scared, there's plenty of places like pumpkin patches and family friendly attractions that are all over the place that you can go visit.
And a lot of them are small businesses.
Absolutely. Agritainment is what it's known as. Yep. You look at like places that are like an apple farm, a family apple farm that they have, goats for petting and a corn maze and all that stuff. That's all considered agritainment.
Get out there.
Agricultural entertainment.
Support your local egg retainers. Well, thanks for coming out, Garrett. I know it's a super busy season, so we appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, Marilla, do you feel at all curious about, as a grown-up, you're not with Grandpa now, do you feel like as a grown-up woman, you'd like to revisit a hayride situation or a haunted house situation?
Also, no.
No, under no circumstances.
No.
Never.
I have no inkling of curiosity. I know what it feels like to be frightened. Mm-hmm. I know what it feels like to pee your pants.
Really? I don't think we've heard that story.
Look me in the eye and tell me you've never peed
Have I ever
your
peed my pants? Okay, there was that one time in 6th grade. Ooh, yeah.
I'm not saying how old I was.
You were like,
yes, I peed my pants last week. Yeah, I know what it feels like
yellow
to pee my
badge.
pants.
Like Mrs. McCartney got the yellow badge for me in 6th grade.
Oh, that woman.
Yeah, she worked hard for it and she got it.
I love that. So no, I don't really have any desire. Do I love that people enjoy doing this? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do I want to be a part of it?
Well, what if the listeners really wanted you to go on some kind of like spooky excursion? Would you be willing?
Are you blackmailing me?
If there was like a demand.
Are you exploiting my fame?
I just think maybe you should think about it. We had the guest on. You're like pals with him.
Foreshadowing.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should consider.
The dread is creeping up my legs.
I'm just saying.
My bare legs.
Give it some thought. Creeping down your legs is what it's doing.
All right, listen, I can see the spooky writing on the wall. Yeah. What do you have in mind, Beth?
I think that you should take a microphone and maybe a producer, and I think you should go on a haunted hayride or through some kind of, you've got an in with our guest.
I'm not doing it because you told me to.
No.
But I'm doing it because I love our listeners.
And you want to give them an immersive experience.
And I'm a slave to the content.
Yes. Cool. Have a great time.
All right. Bye. Kelly, let's go. I really didn't think the first time we'd be able to use press passes for our podcast would be for a haunted hayride, and I am nonplussed by our fame. How long have you been working at this establishment?
Oh, dude,
do you do it all the time?
What's super fun is I have been here for somewhere around 6 to 7 years.
Oh my God!
We were trying to hash this out a couple of weeks ago. What year did I start? I don't know. Time's not real. So,
right.
A while ago. I started off scaring to help out one night for the family and friends. They just needed people. And then I became one of the makeup artists, and now I do the customer service for the RIP area.
Incredible. And what's your name?
Oh, I'm Liz.
Liz, you guys traveling? Or are you from around here?
We're from Vegas.
You're from Vegas? Are you here for this?
Not for this. We have a wedding tomorrow, but we heard about this a couple weeks ago. Her buddy works here, so she was free tickets. So.
Oh my God. Okay, well that's nice. Just have a horrifying experience and then have a wedding the next day. Amazing. Thanks. Have fun, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're in line. There's so many people lined up for this. People love to be scared. Not me. There's 4 right here, but...
We can have you load right on the one on the left.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, here I go. Off to my death. Hi.
I don't bite usually.
All right, great. We're actually here doing some podcast work, so
That's awesome.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. So I'll introduce myself before we get going. So as I just introduced to our celebrity here who's doing a podcast. Big deal, guys. My name's Diana. You might be wondering, why is a waitress taking me in the woods? I get it. I would be wondering the same thing. But if you haven't noticed, I am extremely dead. And in New York, they do not let dead people into kitchens due to health codes. Whatever. Had to find a new job. So the military told me, hey, watch the 3-minute video, you get on this wagon, you take a bunch of people in the woods to find a chupacabra. The problem is I don't know what a chupacabra is. Anybody here know what a chupacabra is?
No way.
Great. We're all screwed. Excellent.
Oh my God, here we go.
You are trespassing on military soil. You need to leave now. You're in grave danger. There's a chupacabra on the loose. There's one over there. Get down. Drago.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. How did it happen so fast? Oh my God.
Now
Something's
you
gonna
can all
come out.
relax. We're headed into the cemetery. Very peaceful, very quiet.
Oh my God.
Nothing calms me down like the smell of freshly dug graves. It's like essential oils, I'm telling you.
She seems like an earthy woman.
That's right.
I'm cursing Kelly Walker's name. Kelly, are you surviving?
I am. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Nobody's getting their yellow badge tonight. That's all I'm saying.
That's too bad.
I wish.
I have a feeling it's not a dog.
I love a dog. Oh my God, there he goes. Ooh. Oh my God.
That fog make anyone else feel kind of funny?
I didn't like that.
I'm starting to think sacrificing you guys to this chupacabra is not such a bad idea.
Oh, that was awful.
Maybe I can call him back like a kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. That's probably an OSHA violation.
Him cook.
All right, listen up. No one is allowed to leave this wagon until I have inspected each and every one of you to make sure you have not been infected by the chupacabra. Now, this time I need you to put your arms out in front of you and roll up your sleeves so I can inspect your arms. Now, you always been this hairy, sir? Are you sure? You had all the same with All right. All right, please. All right, please. Clear, clear. How about you, sir? No extra air there? All right. Clear, clear. Good. Oh, he's infected. He's infected.
It's Garrett. Garrett is infected.
To thank our driver, let's give him a round of applause at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. I hope you have a terrible rest of your evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job.
See you later.
Thank you. Oh, thanks. Great
Fun
job.
with your podcast.
Thanks.
So did you, how'd you do?
I was fine. I had a brilliant storyteller near me. I felt safe with her. But yeah, there was plenty. I didn't pee my pants, if that's what you want to know. Thank you. Thank you. Here we are, back at it.
Safe. You've arrived safely back.
Barely.
Did you have a fun time?
Begrudgingly, I enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm. Kelly seems to have made it through.
Kelly was a champ. Kelly Kelly just blossomed. He thrived in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
It was Kelly. What did you think? You're set up here today.
Kind of amazed by the entire experience. Probably spent less time appreciating what was going on and more time turning to Garrett, who kindly sat down next to me and going, how'd you do that? How'd you do that?
Yeah.
What's going on there? This is so cool. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love this. I felt badly for people who were
It's
trying
all
to
right.
scare me, because remember when the Pumpkinhead, before we got on the hayride,
Yes.
came up to try to scare me, and we all just turned around and went, whoa, your costume is so cool. What's going on in there? I really enjoy it. Yeah, so I may not have been the best
There were a
guest, but
couple
I had a ball.
moments. There were a couple moments where I had to sit say to Kelly, be cool. you know, as I do.
As one does with Kelly Walker.
As one has to do with Kelly Walker. But it was a great time. We roped, my husband Joe came along for the ride. So I had a handsome man to cling to besides Kelly.
Nice prop.
Yeah, a great prop. And we opted out of the haunted house because I needed to maintain my weenie credit on the street.
Yeah, there were 3 other attractions. We did go home relatively early because I think we were a little tired. Plus, we had already recorded a lot of sound to go through.
Yeah, but if you are wondering if you should add this to your spooky list of attractions next Halloween, Frightmare Farms is like a haunted Renaissance fair.
Yeah, bonus 5-star.
Yeah. Bonus 5-star.
Bonus 5-star, because I cannot recommend it highly enough. The whole experience, beyond just what they did, getting in, getting out, the people who work there. I mean, it's a really enjoyable experience.
And Beth, where were you? Remind me.
I don't know. I think probably watching TV on the couch.
Present.
No.
Yeah, not present, not contributing to this podcast family excursion.
I was planning out all of season 3. While you guys were off having fun, I was here doing the hard work.
Oh, yeah. Not peeing your pants.
You're welcome, listeners. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, we love our listeners so much that we go to haunted houses. We plan out a next season. It was a wildly entertaining evening, although I still don't think I'm a haunted hayride kind of princess.
Well, you don't really like haunted things, generally speaking. Do you have any ghost stories in your own life that you could share? Oh, I have one. It's not business related.
You holding out on us this whole episode.
I just thought of like the most recent scary thing that happened.
Oh my God.
Because I have some ghost
Halloween.
stories in my life, but I will just say that this freaky thing happened to me last year at about this time.
Okay.
Right. I had gone to Letchworth State Park.
Spooky.
In the fall.
In the autumn?
Yes. I had rented an Airbnb.
Okay.
I had the master all to myself, the master bedroom.
This sounds lovely.
Yeah, it was great. It was like an isolated kind of house surrounded by woods and cornfields. It was
this sounds either lovely or like a place you'd go to get murdered in a horror movie.
Right. Beautiful skies, beautiful foliage.
Pastoral scenery.
Yeah, it was very movie-esque.
Yeah.
So this is not like a big deal story, but I'll tell you, I woke up in the night and I had a terrible headache. And it was one of those moments where I didn't want to get out of bed and get some aspirin because I was afraid that I'd wake myself up more. We had a big day of hiking planned the next day. And I was like, if I get up, I won't be able to go back to sleep. But if I don't, then I won't be able to go back to sleep because my head is killing me.
The pivotal moment.
So I know I was awake.
Okay.
This is all I'm saying is I know I did not dream this.
I like it.
So I'm laying there thinking about what I should do.
Yeah.
And I felt someone crawl into bed with me. Now, I thought it was my child who was sleeping in a different room.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she got freaked out because she was in a different place, in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So I assumed it was her crawling into bed with me. I rolled over to put my arm on. I was going to pat her back and be like, it's okay.
Yeah,
Mom's here. Don't worry.
I have a headache, but everything will be fine.
Otherwise, we're fine. But there was no one there. There was no one there.
How did your heart stop?
I got scared because I know I didn't imagine it. I know I didn't imagine it.
Did you start to sweat?
No, I got really cold.
Oh, you got really cold?
Yes.
You get the shivers?
Yes, because I was freaked out.
Ooh.
So I turned the light on and I was like, there's got to be an animal in here. So I started looking everywhere for like...
Okay. I love that. I love the practicality of that. There has to be a creature. There has to be a werewolf that is just laying it
or
down.
Just some kind of raccoon. I was out in nature.
Maybe
a random possum in the room.
Friendly possum. Did it make your headache go away? Did the adrenaline?
No, but I was up at that point, and I got some headache medicine, and I tried to go back to sleep in that room, and I couldn't. It was. I'm not saying like. I felt a body get into the bed.
Right. And so, I'd imagine this was, okay, I don't know how many of us have stayed in Airbnbs, but not every bed is a sleep number that you can jump on with the glass of wine that doesn't tip over.
I do that at every Airbnb I go to. So wine. I know they're not all the same.
Right. So you some of those mattresses are a little rickety. Some of those beds, you feel it. Wow.
So what would you have done in that situation, Marilla?
Oh, I know. Without a doubt, because I am practical Polly when it comes to ghosts and ghost interactions. I don't claim to say they are or are not real. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not an expert. If I was in that situation, I've thought about it many times. I would say, go on, scoot.
Oh, you would have said,
go on,
you're not welcome here.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Raccoon. Oh, get the heck out of here, you
get the heck
invisible
out
raccoon.
Of here. Get out of Dodge. Scram. Yeah. No, okay. I know.
Well, you do have a strong personality.
I would bully that ghost out of that bed. I've trained for this for years.
But do you have any spooky stories?
I don't have any personal stories that come to mind, but I do. I recently was speaking to another shop owner.
Okay.
And she was saying that their shop is in a building that was a restaurant or a tavern for many, many, many years, I want to say.
But now it's retail?
Maybe 100 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's retail. And it was a beloved space in the community. And I think I have to confirm some things, but I think it's known that someone died in the building. A woman died in the building. And now at her retail shop, they've had some unexplainable things happen, and she has the receipts because she has cameras.
Oh. Mm-hmm. What has she caught on her cameras?
Well, notable. There's been a few things like similar to last year's episode with the mischievous ghost that would turn on the lights in television. Mm-hmm. Similar things like that. Lights turning on, music turning on. And then small things kind of falling off the shelf. There were like snack packs that were all like busted open and exploded. Whoa. Like somebody squeezed them and they recreated it and tried to knock them off the shelf.
Yes.
And they wouldn't break. And they were even made them fall on sharp things and they wouldn't break. And the only way they would break is if somebody squeezed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or stepped on it. And so there were all these like stomped and squeezed snack packs one day.
Well, that seems just disrespectful.
It does seem a little rude. And no apparition grabbed a mop.
You break it, you buy it.
That's right. No apparition grabbed a mop and a mop bucket. Which, again, if it was me, I'd be like, all right, if we're playing this game, this is where the mop is. But then another one, I guess maybe you could say, oh, they're little small, light things.
It was
Who knows?
probably a raccoon.
Probably a raccoon. Probably, whatever. The critters. But one thing that she has on is this really well secured big bag of merchandise on a shelf, not even close to the edge, not even looking precarious. It just scooches and scooches.
Oh my God.
Scooches, and then it falls down on the floor. And it's a huge bag of stuff. It's a heavy bag. So I'm not going to say it like lifted up and floated over and dropped, but it was very, very spooky to watch. And she's got it on camera.
I hope we get a hold of that.
I'm not going to name names because, of course, you and I both know that no shop owner really wants everyone to think that you have ghosts crawling around inside your shop, and then people don't go there if they're scared of ghosts.
Fair enough.
So we're going to keep this a mystery. So you guys just have to wonder whose retail shop has ghosts crawling through it. But yeah, it's a little retail shop. And I personally, although I'm not going to name names, I told her she could get people in on this, and she could probably have a fun time with it. Run a little ghost sale, run a little after-hour shopping situation.
I mean, there are people who specifically go to places that
with
they
ghosts.
think are haunted.
I know.
I know a number of places around town that have rumors of hauntings that we won't name because they may or may not be trying to market it. Although I will say the Bellhurst, I think,
the Bellhurst is way open about it.
There. And Miles has is a winery.
Miles Winery,
but they
wine
have
cellars.
A wine called Ghost because their place is notably haunted.
Yes, and the Smith Opera House does not keep secrets about the lady in the balcony, the lady in white. But yes, I personally, maybe I'm just a rotten capitalist, but I think that she could have some fun events around this ghost, and hopefully the ghost would like it. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, I feel like that wraps up our Halloween part 2.
I think so. I feel good about it. We not only brought in spooky stories, but they were on theme. We talked about why people would tour and how people do tour spooky attractions. And I mean, I feel pretty good about our spooky ghost stories. You got anything else on your chest here?
No, I guess not. I mean, we set out with an agenda some weeks ago to talk about spooky tourism. Sean really delivered on that. Garrett delivered more on that. And I feel like we're probably safe to sign up or sign off on Halloween Part 2, Season 2.
I don't even like Halloween. Look
no, me neither.
Dropping an episode on Halloween.
Yes, it's a 2-part. It's like Crushes. I said, no, we're not doing Crushes. And then it was 2 parts. And then we're like, Halloween. And then we do 2
And then why are we doing
it?
this? Anyway, what are you dressing up as for Halloween, Beth, before we sign off?
I'm going to spend it like I did at the hayride. I'm going to sit on my couch.
You are not. You're not even going to dress up for the trick-or-treaters. You're on trick-or-treat alley.
I might throw something on.
All right. Well, I'm going to be a Martian.
Oh, really?
I don't even like Halloween. Yeah.
Cool.
Just for fun, you know.
Better post a picture on our socials.
Maybe, if you guys are lucky. Kelly, how about you? Are you dressing up?
I do not have plans to.
Well, then you better change those plans. We've got content to make, guys.
And now a word from our sponsor.
So, Beth.
Yes, Marilla.
I was posting on Instagram, and I have to say, our recording space is just beautiful.
The Red Room Studio?
Yes, you have a way with decorating.
Well, thanks.
Not everybody can do that. But if you're looking for a great location to decorate your space, you should check out Axom Home in Rochester.
Axom.
It's a destination for modern furniture and accessories to make your home reflect your own unique style.
Furniture?
Axom's got it.
Vases?
Axom's got it.
Vases?
Axom's got it.
Clocks?
They've got it. It's a great place for people with a great sense of design but don't want to pay for a designer.
Find it at Axom in the heart of the South Wedge in Rochester, New York, and online at axomhome.com. Marilla, I would like to talk to you about a shop in Canandaigua called Wildflowers.
I will allow it.
Have you heard of it?
I have heard whispers of this shop. Positive whispers.
Oh, yeah. And deservedly positive. I stopped in there on a little excursion. I've been making excursions.
I love this.
I went to Canandaigua and I stopped into Wildflowers. This shop had been recommended to me as a place I might like.
Ooh, that's always nice.
Swung in.
Now, do you go into those like, I'm probably going to like this, or do you go into it like, well, we'll see about that? Be honest.
Oh, I might be a little bit of a snob. I might be generally,
Sometimes.
No, not in this case because it was recommended to me. So I went in thinking, it's going to be good stuff. Yes.
Right.
And maybe I can learn something from these folks. And maybe I can find inspiration here.
That is very good of you.
I went in, I stood in front of a display. It was product that I had thought about carrying in my own shop. And I was like, oh, what a wonderful opportunity to see how it looks in the store. And the owner came over to me, very smooth, very gracious. She's like, do you know this brand? And I was like, yes, I've heard of this brand. We got into a great conversation about it. And then I was like, oh, wow, she's so knowledgeable about her product.
I love
and
it.
she approaches in such a unaggressive but available way. I loved that vibe.
Ooh.
And then there was something I have to say for everybody in that shop. I mean, this is
Everybody
such a
on your
phrase
list.
that we've already said is a stupid phrase, but there is something in there for everybody on your list. Yes. So it was clean, it was bright, it was open, and it was inspiring.
Ooh.
And I would like to say 5 stars. Wildflowers in Canandaigua.
I can't wait to visit. 5 stars.
TYFU. We chat about the biz. It is the way it is. Thank you for understanding.
We sincerely thank you for understanding. Please visit us at tyfupod.com to learn more about the show, share prompt ideas, or tell us about your own small business experiences. We may include your story in a future episode. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at tyfupod or at tyfupod.com. Our theme music was composed by Marilla Gonzalez. The show is produced by Kelly Walker. Too bad for Kelly Walker. Edit all that, Kelly.
Kelly, be a dear and clean that up for us.